Tarot pick card reading. I love using the crystal stars because so much of what we do here with tarot is about healing, and the stars are the symbol of healing in the tarot deck, so thank you for allowing that. Now, let's get started. I have a specially prepared deck for us because I want to dive in deep for anyone that just happens to be here. See what it is that the universe has for us. It's an experimental reading. Never done anything quite like this before, and so I'm glad you're here. I'm Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot, and I'm going to draw cards from this deck that'll tell us what the reading is going to be. I will be using a different deck for each reading, and I'm going to try to squeeze as many readings as I can. So let's see what our first one. Thank you so much for playing my game with me today. And our first card is Message from Your Future Self. Alrighty, which deck? I think this deck. I've already shuffled and prepared the decks before you got here today. So let's draw the cards. What does the universe say about a message from your future self? Looks like a feast to be had. Okay, so the first thing that I'm seeing is that you're kind of not seeing your value. There's something about how you're looking at life that is not being able to share your full potential. So your future self is reaching here right now to tell you that you have a very good supporter. There's somebody in your life who's giving you the exact right advice. However, it's a little hard for you to receive. Maybe you're the person that's always been giving advice to other people, and maybe it's time for you to have advice. I like that, how they're kind of just talking back and forth. Maybe they've leaned on you so many times during their life, and you've been the magician for them. And now it's your turn. And they're even giving you some words of advice that feel good to you. But the problem is that you aren't so sure you want to receive it. So your future self says, get over yourself. You have been so generous to tons of people. But if you don't let them feed into your spirit right now, you're going to lose so much more than you think. You can't just sit there and be so hungry pushing away the dish. All right? So thank you. Let's go to our next reading. You'll notice that my comments are turned off. Part of that is on purpose because, well, all of it's on purpose because I want to watch the bleeping Law of Attraction work. And I want to see how the cards can be perfectly suited for the people listening in. Thank you for your thumbs up. I really appreciate it. It lets YouTube know that you're enjoying this experimental reading, and then I can do more of them. All right, let's see what our next question will be. If there's a question you have, hold it in your mind. It might be drawn. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay, our next question is for viewers looking for work. So are you looking, I know some of you might be freaked out right now. Like I have a sense there's somebody here who thought to themselves, I wish she would do a career reading, and there it is. Listen, when I very first got started with the Law of Attraction, which is over 20 years ago now, stuff like that would happen to me all the time, and it did kind of freak me out. Okay, so here a card flies out. Education. You may need to take a class or do research. Wow. Okay, so there's a lot of juice on these career cards right now. So whoever you are that's really needing to hear what is it that the universe would have for you to give you the most traction to show you what your next logical step is. Okay. All right, I do have the feeling, honestly, I don't feel like you're afraid of hard work, viewer. If you're a person who really needs to have a career break, Maybe your family has gotten bigger in size, or maybe you have to take responsibility for somebody, an elderly parent or somebody that needs your help, and so all of a sudden you need to provide yourself with some more revenue. And it might be true that taking a class could be very good for you. Now, I like what it's saying here about leveraging your expertise, because it says you may find yourself writing a book or teaching others. So for those of you who are resonant with this reading, I would say that there's something you've accomplished in your life that for sure could be monetized. There's a skill that you have that you could even start a meetup group. Now, I've run several meetup groups, and if you have a common interest and can pull people together, people will pay $10 to sit down and talk about a combined topic. In San Diego, there was a lady who had an Italian meetup, and she would go to restaurants and had an instructor come along. All they did was speak Italian at this dinner because they wanted to immerse themselves. That lady would fill the table for 10 to 12 people and walk away with $120 cash. No kidding. Check out meetup.com. If you want to know more about it, you can email me, tarotinfoplease@gmail.com, and I can tell you about my meetup groups. Anyway, have you ever heard of the expression a bridge job? A bridge job is a job that you have in between. If you're a student and you're waiting to get a job in your profession, that would be what would happen. If you need to leave a profession because of a downsizing situation, you might have to take work bartending or something that you might have looked at as under you. But the fact is, nothing's under anybody. When you're needing to provide for yourself and your family, you want to get practical and you want to get some money in your hands. The service industries are humbling. They're always needful. All of the service industries to the 1%ers of the world. There's a way to hustle, and you can find your way through this. There is something inside of you, though, that does not want to sit in an office. There's a part of you, there's a heart of adventure that you feel hungry for. Well, part of what you need to know is that hunger for adventure comes in the inner world, and wanting to create revenue for yourself that's meaningful may seem really hard right now because of your personal situation. I feel that this is not an accident. You're listening to this reading. There's so much available for you. So if I were to do anything right now, I think that I would want to find the smartest person that you know. Who's the smartest person you know who's had a successful business? Somebody I know knows a lady who's owned a pet service company for over 20 years. They're knocking it out of the park. I said, go talk to her. Ask questions. Get to know people who know how to hustle, okay? I feel this is a serious request, and I also feel this is not desperate. This is an intelligent person looking for guidance. So I think that if you look around your community, pick someone that is highly successful and tell them you want to sit down, buy them coffee, I believe they would do that. All right, let's go on. Let's see. For those of you who want to leave me a comment, on the community page, there is a little photo of this reading, and that is a way for you to, a couple things. You can comment if there's a question that you would like me to answer. I can add a card to my deck, and I would love to do that, okay? So, or if you just have a comment or question, you can comment over there. This card flew out of the deck, and I always love when they have energy like that. And this is what you need to know right now. I really love cards like this because they are not very specific. And so as I choose the deck, I'll choose this one. As we go into this question, just in your own mind, what's been bugging you last week? Who's been on your last nerve? Ooh, cards are fleeing themselves. When I said who's on my last nerve, 2 cards jumped out. Do you have 2 people that are on your mind? Who are you praying for? What do you need to know right now? What do you need to know right now? Okay, let's draw. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot, and you're helping me out because this is a brand new reading. You've never done this before. If you like it, hit the thumbs up, and I will take that to heart. Alrighty, let's see. This is what you need to know right now. Page of Cups. Hermit. And Ace of Cups. What do you need to know right now? Okay, I love these cards for you, viewer, my sweet one. There's a sweet energy here. Young at heart, maybe chronologically, maybe not young, but I'm sensing this very childlike, hopeful energy. And so that's Murphy. Murphy, stop. Exuberance, like Murphy, exuberance. You know, we see the Ferris wheel here and being at the fair and being able to, I think about the development within the court cards where this individual who has just gone through the Ace through the 10 of development and now is got a little bit of a treasure. She's learned so much about herself and her life, and she feels confident. And so the genders don't matter here, but it's just that part of your personality that just feels so comfortable and settled and lonely. Because what you need to know right now is there's some new relationships coming in. You have developed so much emotional maturity in the last, let's see, maybe 8 months, 9 months, within the last year. You've like upgraded your emotional maturity. And because of that, you are really ready to finish searching for this new connection that you're looking for. Now, if those of you who are looking for partners, I would say that you need to know that you are right on track. If you're looking for a new partner to date or a new person to be in business with, it just shows that everything's in exactly the right place. So what to do? Number one, when I see the Hermit card come out in this deck, it always makes me think, what do you really want? There's a lot in the shadow that she can't see because the light is shining on the path. So as you're considering a new relationship or a new partnership of any kind, which is indicated here, just an overflow of a very fulfilling relationship, one way or the other, is to write a list of what it is that will bring you the most pleasure in being in a couple or in a partnership. If you like people who are on time, write it down. If you like people who are generous, write it down. Write down the values of the people that'll be entering, I would say, throughout the summer. Because what you need to know right now is that the people that are coming in are going to be able to become quite long-term with you. And that's really good news, isn't it? Great reading. Thank you for listening. And let's go to our next reading. Over time, I've learned to trust the cards to do the work they're designed to do. And it is a mystery to me. I never know who's here or what kind of reading might be best for you. That's why this pick a card is working for me, because I don't have to think so hard. Do you like it? Are you enjoying it? Is this the kind of reading you'd like? Thank you. Somebody just hit thumbs up. Thank you. I love it. It's so much fun for me because when the comments are on, I get so distracted that the cards get second place. And in my life, the cards are like my soulmate. I know that's weird. All right, let's see what's next. Message from money. Ooh, good. I love doing messages from money. Okay, so I'm going to grab, let's see, which deck do I want to use here? Hold on. You know what? I've got a deck. I need to walk away from the table. But I'm bringing it with me because I haven't had. Thank you so much for tuning in. I did a little test of this reading with some friends, and it seemed to go over well. So I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Your time's precious, and I appreciate it. By the way, if you want a personal reading, you know the drill. My contact information is in the description box below. Oopsie. I'm going to use my Gold Dust deck. I love the money deck. Okay. Message from money. What do you have for us? This is cool because every single person listening to this could benefit, right? This is the first card of this set of readings, the very first, where it's good for all of us. So let's all take a breath. It's a full moon energy today. It's so powerful. What is it that we can learn? What is message? What does money want to speak to us? Okay, let's take a look. Thank you for being here with me, you guys. Okay. True self. Foresight. Ooh, I like the foresight card. Okay, money. Lay it on us. Searching. Okay. True self. A mask doesn't conceal you, it reveals you. Show who you are by doing what you do with integrity. If you listened in to the reading that we just did a little bit ago about being gifted in something, even being able to teach, there's something you know how to do. This is the second time that this message is coming, okay? You might want to go through back and watch some of the earlier ones because there's something in you that you can teach. It's a skill that you probably think it is so, why would anybody pay to learn it? Seriously? But it's true. And right now, there is a real need for, I guess I could call it tutoring, but there's a lot of skills, life skills and hobbies that people would be willing to pay one-on-one. Maybe it's not as much as you'd make doing some other things, but remember, baby steps here, and any little bit of addition to the revenue helps. So I think money says that a mask doesn't conceal you. We've all put on a mask of adulthood now that we are adults, but there's some things that we know how to do that feels so easy, even to learn how to crochet. You could, honestly, you could start a meetup and people would come to learn how to crochet. If you want to know how, email me because I've done it, not with crocheting, with other things, and you really can. It's not going to pay the rent, but it brings in enough to really get the stream flowing. So money says a mask doesn't conceal you. There's a part of you that knows you would do anything legal to become more solvent. That's your true self. We're born as humans to be productive. That's just what I believe. If you don't believe like that, I'll still hang out with you. But I think that we all have something that we could be doing, that we're kind of classic underachievers, even me. And I do a lot, but it's still like, what could I leverage? How could I maximize my experience? So money has that kind of energy around it. It's not frantic, running zzz. It's more of a steady upward trajectory that we're being called to. And so foresight, I love foresight, the foresight card. The best way to predict the future is to invent it. You create your fate, decide what you want. Now, some people find this card controversial because they don't understand a lot about the law of attraction, I love that stuff, but I don't spend a lot of time teaching it. I can send you to the right place. There's someone online, Life by Lucy, Life by Lucy, Lucie. She's a wonderful teacher. She has very short, effective videos. She can explain better than I could on my best day. So I can give you resources. And if you listen to my readings, I always do. What I'm interested in is helping you to realize there are no accidents, and you're listening to this reading for a reason. I'm doing this style of reading tonight where I'm not actually letting you guys ask me questions. I'm putting out there what the universe has for you by picking cards. If you happen upon this reading and it resonates, it just proves that there's something out there that draws people together for the right reason. Searching. You wouldn't be here if you weren't searching, right? You wouldn't be here if you weren't searching. Money knows about you. Money remembers you. Money wants to help you. I believe money is an energy just like air. And I believe if I'm breathing air, that I can experience money. I can't really breathe it, but I can, well, maybe I can. But the point is that if I want to get to know money, I will be open to opportunities to do so. So the foresight card is what they teach about living as if. You are putting a vision in your mind to live as if you had twice the income you have right now. And that's the skill that you can use the YouTube search and look for Bella, Bella, no licking. Sorry, but you can use the YouTube search for law of assumption, and up will come a gazillion YouTubers that teach about it. Okay, but it does work because right now, for example, I have a couple of let's pretend games going on where if I had 5,000 people watching this video right now, 5,000, let's just say I did, I wouldn't be doing anything different. When I started to realize that there's some things that I'm going to do exactly the same, whether I have 5,000 people listening or if I have 0 people listening, because on YouTube, you can make a recording with 0 people. My energy is the same. My energy is the same when I'm eating, when I'm sleeping, when I climb into bed at night, whether I am with 10 people watching me or 5,000 people watching me. If you have 0 in the bank or you have 5,000 in the bank, there's some things you're going to do the same. Check out those YouTubers that teach the law of assumption. And I will always be giving a couple on here that I really like. Another one is Shelley Bullard. If you're looking for a soulmate, she's very, very good. Okay, thank you, money. I appreciate this message because even today, I gave a couple of people an example of this type of pick a card reading. And a couple of people were a little doubtful. They said, well, you can try it, but I don't think people will really like it because they can't ask a question. And so I have to be true to myself and say, well, yeah, that might be true, but I want to find out for myself, and it is fun for me. And there's a woman named Pam Grout. She wrote a book called E Squared, and I love it. It's an experiment book where you can test out these things I'm talking about and see if it works. And she says that if your work is not fun, it's not sustainable. So if something doesn't bring you joy when you're doing it, you really could stop doing that and you'd bring more lightness and pleasure to your life. Okay, so let's go to our next card. Here's what I'm going through here. Let's just draw this one, see what our next reading is. Someone is thinking about you. Okay, so with this card, what you're going to do is, I always like, you may know exactly who this is, but how do you figure it out? There's usually somebody that's been popping into your mind frequently over the last, could be even month. And that's the person that we're going to be asking. If you don't have someone like that, pick the person that you are the most frustrated with. Any kind of energetic connection will work here. But someone is definitely thinking about you. Oops, wow, cards are jumping out. Comfort. Okay, this could be very simple. Somebody, you may know exactly who this is. Somebody that you know, they're going through a loss right now. Something's happened, maybe they live far away from you. One of the things that I know a lot about is hospice. I was a hospice volunteer and I actually worked in the pet cemetery also. And so it's very tender. Yeah, thank you. Very tender. Base chakra. Yeah, okay. So we have family of origin here. And this is you. My heart goes out to you. But there is somebody. Oh, wow. Okay, let's see. Okay. All right. Okay. This is not going to be true for everyone. This is a very, very personal reading for someone. There's somebody in your family who's passed. And maybe passed young. Maybe there's a sense of this is terribly unfair. Take a breath, please. Okay. All right. It looks to me that somebody on this, a viewer, one of our viewers, is really in a quandary. It's really difficult because there's been some sort of passing, and the family dynamic is in an active shift, and there's some uncomfortable feelings being felt, and you want to confront someone. You're not happy with how people are treating one another, and there's part of you that wants to say something, but you won't let yourself, right? And so I look at this shadow, and that's why I sense there's something about youth here, and you are able to have restraint. You're being able to understand and wait. So first thing, I just want to congratulate you. Okay, take a breath. If the number 18 is important to you, please check it out in your heart. Is the number 18 important to you? Take a breath. It's very important now that the energy flows. All right. So for you, the timing's not right. Whatever it is that you're thinking about, there's some connection where you feel you need to say something to someone. They know they're connected to, but this is not the right time. I think that some journaling would help, to really ask yourself, do it like a dialogue. I think it would be really good for you, even if you hate journaling, but just write a dialogue between you and this person, just to kind of clear the air a little bit. But this is a very delicate time. Now I'm feeling like I want to draw another card here. Yes, okay, let me just draw from this deck. I just want to draw one more card. This is very personal, so if this is you, if you sense, if you've had that loss, do hit the thumbs up, and that just closes the loop between us. And then my energy, somebody explained it to me, one of the other tarot readers explained it, that, whoopsie, thank you, that once the person clicks the thumbs up or they like the reading, that I can actually tap into the energies better because of the connection. So thank you for that. Okay, so this is the card that popped up in support. So if I look at this card, it's full of love, but look at the bottom right corner. Can you see the little letter down there? Notice that he doesn't have room in his hands for the letter. He's holding his hat in the flowers. So that's a confirmation to me that you should just wait. Don't be saying something right now, okay? Don't worry about it. Write it to yourself. Write a letter to yourself, for Pete's sake. But don't try to confront right now. It's not the right time, okay? Got it? If this message really hits you, I would really appreciate if you reach out. Like I said, you can leave a message in the community, in a comment, or you can email me. Contact information is in the description box. And I would love to hear if this message worked for you. I really would, because like I said, some of you have just joined me. This is an experiment that I'm doing. I'm Catherine, Fish Out of Water Tarot, and I really love doing things different than anybody else. You'll notice that about me. But I wanted to try this method of pick a card tonight to just see what happens, see who comes, because attraction is very easy to prove online. There's just no coincidences with how the algorithms work out, which reminds me, thank you for hitting the thumbs up. Oh, I just love you guys. Every person that hits the thumbs up, my heart goes pitter-pat. I notice you. You matter. Okay, let's pick. Should we pick this one? Or maybe this one? Or maybe this one? This one wins. Okay. Your future self has something to say. All right. Okay, this particular reading would be especially for people who are been begging for an answer. It's like, please show me what to do. I'm so tired of going one way or the other. Why does this keep happening to me? Why can't I get ahead? If you feel like that, this will be your reading. Okay, so your future self is wanting to support you. Thank you for that thumbs up. Y'all are so great. Thank you. Okay. Your future self loves you to pieces. Your future self is very, very patient and will never push and bully or rush you. Your future self wants only the best for you. Okay. Uh-huh. Exactly. Now, everything that I was saying, I love the card so much, but I love this deck. Remember that little rant that I did? Your future self loves you. Your future self is confident in you. Your future self believes in the truth of who you are. Your future self knows that you have learned how to speak more gently. Your future self knows that you're on your way to having the control. If you were here for the last reading, this fits exactly. Thank you. Because it just shows that this, to be able to know the right timing, to know how to read the room. Your future self wants to praise you for the work you've done so far to put yourself into position. Okay? Isn't that 90% of it? Putting yourself into position. Okay. Temperance. Beautiful. And justice. Wow. Okay. All right. So for some of you, for somebody on the call, I mean, I always say on the call, that's just old school because I've been doing this a long time. But somebody who's here, this is really an important time because there is a legal matter that has been taking its good sweet time getting itself taken care of. And so if you're the person who's going through that, hit that thumbs up, let me know, because you know how legal stuff can just drag through that courtroom and take forever to get finished. And you want it to be fair and you need it to be fair, but you also don't want to give any more of your life away to something that is not going to give you that return on what you're hoping for. Okay, so your future self says that it's the divine, your best self, your God, your highest version of yourself. There's so many different ways to describe what it is that's your highest self. But that's the part of us that is in complete ease and peace about the future. Okay? The part of you, there is a part of you, even though you might not believe it, because you might be very nervous, but I can promise you there's a part of you that is calm. There's a part of you that understands one important thing. Okay? Listen in. Here it is. You're not supposed to know how to handle everything. What you're supposed to know is that when stuff happens, your intuition will guide you, surely and with certainty, with what you need to do. But I knew you could hear a but coming. You have to be relaxed. If you're not at ease, calm, Abraham Hicks talks about being in the vortex. All that means is that you are at a state of calm attentiveness. And if you are in that state, your intuition speaks, you feel it, you know what to do, you know where to show up. And that's why you can trust this system. Maybe you're going to have to give in a little bit. Maybe you're going to have to temper your goals a little bit to get done with it. But their future self says it's worth it. Getting done with this thing that you're involved in is completely worth it, because then you'll restore your natural vitality and get to work on your own life. Okay? So for those of you involved in some sort of legal matter, just know that your higher self, your inner being, has things well under control. What do you do? My favorite 100% solution for when you're feeling stretched and stuck with something that's out of your control is to get involved volunteering somewhere. There is no question. What started me years ago was going to one of the major pet stores and socializing their animals, the kittens for me, because I like kittens, the kittens, so that they would make good pets for somebody. They're dying for volunteers. Every Thursday night, me and my ex at the time, we would go there, and it was like a social time, but we were giving to others. And the thing about that is that you always meet the best people when you're volunteering. And it's also the fastest track to stop being narcissistic and selfish about your own needs. Get out there and serve someone else. Trust that this inner work is going on, and you need to keep yourself in calm and peace. That's your job. All right. So, how? Yoga. I do tapping. I'm happy to tap with you. Again, contact information's in the description box below. But you can find all of that on YouTube. There's YouTubers doing all of the tools. But you're going to need some kind of either journaling or yoga or, whatever inspires you and keeps you in that calm state of receptivity and allowing. My latest hero is Michael Singer. Many of you are familiar with him. I love his book, and it's The Untethered Soul. And there's a journal that goes along with it, but it's the whole idea of choosing your thoughts. I don't know where the words came from, but I do believe what you think about, you bring about. What you talk about, you walk about. So even though people might argue with me and say, I don't create my own life. Why are you saying that, Catherine? I'm saying, well, if you walk around talking about how life sucks every day, 24/7, and you have a sucky life, you tell me. But if you walk around saying things like, I look forward to seeing the people that God puts on my path today. I love being in an environment where people are kind to one another. I love that when I go out to walk, I see sweet people who greet me in the eye and say hello. And you might say, well, I don't live in your neighborhood, Catherine. Well, how do you know? If you walk around thinking like that, everything might change. Would you like another card? Raise your hand. I see you. I'm going to draw another card. We have what people admire about you. Oh, I love this one. Okay. What people admire about you. I want to go back to this deck. What do people admire about you? What do people admire about our viewers? Some people ask me, they'll say, it feels so weird because it feels like every single card is me a little bit. And I always like to remind people that that is really the law of attraction in action, because it's not just the algorithms of YouTube. There's some kind of crazy magic. Oh, there's two of them, where the right people show up for the right readings. It happens to me all the time. There's a woman named Sunshine. You can go check her out. I love Sunshine. And one time she was doing a reading and she said, and I don't know who this is, this Mark that's been bothering you. And I had a guy. I mean, it wasn't a bad thing. I was doing some writing for him, but it was difficult to communicate with him. And she called him by name, and then the advice she gave helped me. Now, what's that about? How is that possible? That it's a random reading. She's got thousands, and she makes me look like a little grain of sand. She's a very big reader, but her words dropped right into me. So if that's you and you're enjoying this, I'm glad you're here. Okay, so let's do our what people admire about you. Oh, temperance just came up in the other reading, in that last one. Interesting. That's very interesting. And the King of Wands. Oh, your friends think you're hot stuff. And okay. All right. What people admire about you. Well, first of all, see this radiance. This is where one of the things that I love when you're working with energy work, whether you're doing yoga or tapping or whatever you're doing, reading self-help books, where you really start to take responsibility for how happy you are in your own life. You're not looking around out there hoping somebody makes you happy. You're making better choices for yourself. When that starts to happen, you radiate. When people start working with me with tapping, I tell them, don't tell anyone what you're doing. Don't tell anyone you're doing energy work. Eventually, somebody's going to come up to you and they're going to say, have you lost weight? Did you get a haircut? Something's different about you, and I can't tell what it is. every time it happens, because this is true. When you lift your own spirits by whatever process you use to just get rid of the stuff you don't need anymore, it really is a let it go phenomena. And Michael Singer's book, again, I've mentioned him before, is just a great resource to learn how to just let go of what you think is bothering you. Because the fact is, if you're worried about something, or you have hurt feelings, or you're mad about something that happened more than a year ago, you don't have to be. Honest, you don't. And there's people to help you, because there's enough that happens today to be mad at. And if you're still holding on to stuff from years ago, it's stealing your own energy from yourself. But at any rate, people admire something about you. There's a glow. They don't understand what it is, but there is a sense of stability around you right now. And people can't really put words on it, but they just sense a certainty and safety. People that admire you. They see you, though, as a little bit, I'm going to say this gently, it's like self-absorbed. Now, when I say self-absorbed, I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean it in a content way. This particular card just shows a very fat and sassy cat, a cat who is completely content. There's nobody bugging this cat, and someone's playing with it. Somebody is holding this wand and giving all this attention to this beautiful animal. Okay, so you may be giving off a vibe of unavailability. Okay, so they admire what they see in you, but you could be a famous person yourself, and people laugh, say, I'm not famous, but you might be famous in your own world. Perhaps you've spoken around your city and people have gotten to know you a little bit. So they view you as a little bit out of touch. They wouldn't qualify. And that kind of cracks you up, because you're like, oh, for God's sake, why would they think that? I'm nothing special. But yet you have that presence. See the back turned here? So people admire your strength, they admire your balance, they even admire the way you stay in your lane. See the lanes on the wallpaper? But they're a little frustrated because you're so busy with all of that, they're not sure how they fit. So what this shows me is that this might work perfectly for you. You might be completely content with the amount of social interaction that you have, the quality of the relationships that you have, and you may feel fine about it. If you're an author or a speaker, you may be content with the level that you're at. But if you are someone that wants to attract more people into your life or deepen your relationship, I would say that I love that quote. I don't know who said it, that says, a strength is a weakness pulled out of balance. So because of that, your balance and this ability to really focus in on pleasure when you earn it, and to be able to close out others, almost like a sort of super detachment, it's making people a little bit distanced from you. So I would just do an audit, or talk to one of your good friends or contacts about it, and just say, I just, had a reading, or you could come to me for a larger reading. I'd be happy to help you. But your close friends know these things about you, and if you bravely say, you know what, I think I might be perceived as unavailable. Do you ever feel that I'm unavailable? You might get some really good answers. Okay, but basically, though, I think that your the idea that your very strengths that you're so good at, could there be a way they could alienate people? Okay. Again, questions, comments, email me. What is it? Oh yeah, tarotinfoplease@gmail.com. And give me some, I would love to hear what this means to you. Also, on the community page, there is there's an ad for this call, and you can add comments there if you want to tell me something about tonight's readings. If you're just joining me, thank you so much. I'm Catherine, and this is Fish Out of Water Tarot, where I love to do things backwards, upside down, where nobody has experienced them before, because being a rebel and kind of a renegade, it lets me live life my way. So thank you so much, all of you. When you put that thumbs up, it really is meaningful to me personally, because I know you're out there. But also, one of my tarot mentors told me that when you guys hit the thumbs up, it helps complete an energetic loop, and that I actually can tune in more easily and readily with the people that are on there, and also the people that listen afterwards. So let's pick another card. I'm going to be here for a little while longer. If you would like a reading, there's a question, hold it in your mind. Wouldn't it be cool if I drew a card that had your question on it? Okay. What people are attracted to in you. Very similar, very similar to the last one. What do people admire? But this is another level of intimacy. This is where they definitely already want to take that step toward you. Okay, so this could be read for business, of course, because you have to come into alignment with businesses. And often I say to people, like, when you get a new job, it's almost like dating, because you have to make a decision to commit to something pretty darn quick, and you commit, and after 90 days, you might think, oh shit, what did I do? So you have to be attracted to something at work also, because it takes so much of your time. But in this particular reading, we're going to go after the romance and the love area. I pulled up the Romance Angels deck, because I think that would be cool. Let's see what's going on here. What people are attracted to in you. Make the effort. Religious factors. And separation. Wow. This is really easy for me to read. I always wonder sometimes, like when I very first started reading a long time ago, many years ago now, I used to think, well, anybody could do this, because it felt so easy. And this is one of those that really is just so lovely, all right? This is for a tender heart, okay? This card, this particular reading, this pick a card is for someone who's shy, and tenderhearted, and has been misunderstood in love for sure. In fact, often I'll tell people that the experiences we have between 13 and 23 are really tender. There's so many deep roots that come from those early connections, because we just don't understand what and how to connect with people in a way that supports both of them. And a lot of times misunderstandings happen that keep people single past their childbearing years. I've seen this happen. I know people who come to me for readings that this is true of their lives. But what people are attracted to in you is that you are willing to make the effort. There's something about you and love that is like, you will never give up. And there is that radiation, the radiance that came out in the last reading. There's something around you that people appreciate. So people who want to be married, for example, or in a long-term commitment, they would feel that from you. Okay. And I think that that's good, that you would have the confidence to know that you are radiating the desire to be in a couple. When people come to me for readings, often the very first thing we'll do is see how strong is their ability to manifest singleness. Because I always tell people, you're an excellent manifester. And they say, no, I'm not. I'm still single, and I'm 42. I'm not a good manifester. I've been trying to manifest a man for 12 years. I said, I know, but think of it. You've manifested singleness in spite of yourself. Man. So the first thing you have to do is learn how to stop doing that. And once you realize how many of your habits, and remember I said what you think about, you bring about. So if you say stuff like, there's not a single nice man out there, they're all terrible, or I just made that up. But if you say things that are disparaging about the gender that you're looking for, then your mind will continue to protect you. Okay, so I don't know why I went into that area. Sorry about that. I got off on a tangent. But anyway, this is back. What are people attracted? So they are the people that want to be married or committed are attracted to you. So let's hear an amen from the peanut gallery. Amen. Okay, so you're in the right place, because some women are, or some, I say woman because I'm a woman, and maybe your woman is getting into this, but some people I really want to be single for sure. I know them. I love them. They're fine. I like being single myself. But you, if you want to be married, you're definitely sending out that energy. Your spiritual life is 100% important to you. You cannot compromise. And you could get tempted because you could think, well, yeah, he could go to his church and I could go to my church, or they could go to their church and I can go to my church, and then we'll meet for breakfast and it'll all be good. And I would say, absolutely. I would never argue with you. I'm gesturing here like you're here. I wouldn't argue with you. However, it does take extra energy. Any time when there's not a natural fit where people naturally fit together, there's lots of people that make that work, but it just takes more effort. And if you can find if you find a person that you feel at ease, someone who gets you, if you find someone who gets you, it's much easier than trying to be with someone who doesn't. It just takes less energy. So this is good news. The churches are one of the most wonderful places to go for socializing. They are. I just was speaking to someone, and her relative is going off to live in a different state, and she belongs to one of the major religions. And we were talking about they're going to love her. They're going to take her in. They're going to put her on a committee. They're going to have her doing tasks and being part of the volunteer staff of that church. It's a beautiful thing. And chances are she'll even meet a partner-like person there. So it's so important that your ideal partner is attracted to your spiritual passion. Okay, so say that out loud to yourself right now. Say, my ideal partner is attracted to my spirituality. And if you've never said that, you should, duh. Because, like I said, you can hold things together that are from different value packages, but it's easier. The more you have in common, the more you get the person and the better they get you, the easier it is to make it sustainable, okay? Okay, good deal. All right, I'm just getting a text. I'm going out to have dinner tonight. My grandson is celebrating his birthday, and I'm so excited about the party. So I can't stay here forever, as much fun as I'm having. What do you guys think? Are you liking this reading? Okay, let me just finish. Oh, I'm sorry. I interrupted myself for a commercial. Now, let's look at why the separation card makes you attractive. Why does the separation card make you attractive? Take a breath. Nobody wants to be somebody's everything. Nobody wants to be somebody's everything. When you have the ease and freedom to be without your partner in the world, going to dinner, having time with your friends, doing your hobbies, without any weirdness between you, where neither one of you is nervous, anxious, texting every minute, when are you going to be here? Just to have that maturity of separation. And I believe that you have that very strong because of your past and all that you've been through. In fact, right now you're tired of separation. You're probably saying, you're right, Catherine, where's my partner? But the fact is that your ability to be okay when you're in separation makes you extraordinarily attractive. Now, that brings up one point for me. Sometimes when you start to date or you get back out there and you haven't been out there for a while, you feel like you have to have a story, right? Because you don't want to feel like a loser. And that's what a lot of people tell me. And I'm like, you know what? Nothing is anybody's business, but it is a good idea to have a storyline. One of the things I like to say, is just you can steal a line from a movie if you see a good movie line out there. But just to say, I've been taking a sabbatical I've been taking a sabbatical from relationships. And I'm like, what? But, something like that is just curious. What does that mean? Just been taking a break. And in a way, if you just broke up last week, and you're here hoping for a soulmate, I would say that you have to make more effort. But this reading, I really feel, is for somebody who's been waiting, who's done a lot. I just feel the timing of this person, that this is a mature, ready to not get wrapped up in drama, ready to really go forward with the person. If, on the other hand, you're feeling that this doesn't fit for you, let's draw another card, right? And that's the thing with a pick a card reading like this. You may not resonate at all with any of them, but it's likely you'll resonate with more than one, because the people that come into my channel, we're all kind of the same. I'm something called neurodiverse. I don't know if you're familiar with that term, neurodivergent, where my brain operates in a little bit of an atypical fashion. And so it's created an interesting life for me. And so other people who know about neurodivergence feel at home here. Other people who are just shy, introverted, and feel, they just deer in the headlights if they have to be social, those people also will feel comfortable. Okay, I just got a couple more minutes because I have to go to get ready for the party. But if you're enjoying this, please drop me a line. There's comments over there in the community. Hit the thumbs up. I'm very impressed. Thank you for responding. Thank you for being here. And this will be our last card for tonight. But I will definitely come back and do this again. This was super fun. Okay, so our last card. What's next in love? I'm kind of glad for that, because I felt like the last one was really for someone who's really ready to get married. And I love this. The universe is so sweet, honest to goodness. But I'm going to draw cards. Again, I'm going to use the romance deck, because I feel like this card is for the rest of the people who are not ready for marriage. I mean, yes, they might want to be married, but they're not even dating at this point, and they haven't dated in a long time. Maybe you just broke up and you want to get something started. This is for more like the little bit of a recovery reading, a little bit of frustrated. I would say single. Okay. And we have free yourself. Okay, that's a strong message. It's our last message for today. And I will be back. And all of the readings that we recorded, if you're just getting here, there's some good ones on here that you can definitely go back and listen to. Okay. Oh, wow. Dun, dun, da, da. Dun, dun, da, da. Okay. Okay, this is a reading that I think is going to surprise you when you hear me say this. Maybe not. I mean, I know whoever this reading's for, it's not going to surprise you. But the people that are, may read it the different way. But for me, this is crystal clear. You have been dreaming. You have an illusion about what being married is all about. Your dreams have been beautiful, but they're not realistic. And part of the reason that you have gotten so confused is because the people you end up with don't satisfy. That you start and they feel like the perfect person, but then it falls apart. And not only that, but it does it again and again. Okay? See the pen? There's no freedom here. Okay? So this is what this means. Does it mean you don't get to wish for that stuff? No, of course not. If you want it, you can have it. What it means is that your feelings about it don't match. It doesn't match. There's something about being married that for you, or being committed, that is not a match for real life. Now, this is not saying that all of the law of attraction stuff doesn't work, because it does. But if you were to attract this idea, it would not be sustainable. So you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. You want certain parts about being married, and you want certain, it might be with I had one lady that did not want to be with a man who was less than 6 feet tall. She would not. So she had to deal breaker that, quite frankly, I'm not sure it was worthy of breaking anyone's deal. So I feel that energy here. Look at how rigid. These are like those old time figures where they don't dare smile on their wedding day. So there's something old school about your beliefs about being in a couple. So I'm trying to think of who I would send you to that would be like a wake up call in a gentle way. And I can't come up with anybody right now. Doggone it. I wish that I could, because this is the idea. I don't want to take away your dream, and I don't want you to think she's saying I can't have that, because I'm not. But it's, oh, okay. All right. Take a breath. It's like you're more in love with the idea of being married than you are with being in a relationship with someone. Let me say that again. It's like you're more in love with the whole idea of the wedding and being married than you are with actually living with someone who gets you. Okay, so what I suggest is that you, let me take a breath. There's a woman with a YouTube channel. Her name is Genevieve. And I can't remember what the rest of her channel name is, but Genevieve is in the name of it. Might be Manifest with Genevieve. But I like her. She's very common sense, and she has tons of YouTube videos. And I just feel like that could be a good resource for you, because she teaches that you can have anything, but she teaches in such a way that I think she can help you. Now, I can help you. I mean, sign up for a reading and I'll give my personal guidance, but that's not what this is about, because I want you to be able to get help right now. So if you go with that Manifest with Genevieve, I think that you'll find something there that will give you some comfort here. To look at the fact that you have not gotten that partner yet. I mean, you haven't. And then why not? And then to be able to evaluate, is there anything in my life right now that's different than when you started to make your goal? Are there any values or tastes or anything going on in your life that have changed what you want and you just don't know it? All right. So I'm feeling like I want to draw one more card for these people with the What Next in Love department. Oh, I'll do this one. This is the romance deck. So, okay, universe, what is one more card? What can you give us for just this person who needs to just do an audit and feel into themselves and make sure, is everything you used to think was a deal breaker, is it still a deal breaker? Is there something different that you want right now that could be in the way? And we have the Two of Wands, the Two of Staves. Okay, so this is a person who's afraid to move forward. There's been some progress, but it's stuck. So it's definitely a stuck energy. It's a powerful energy. So it tells me, yes, this person who's receiving this reading, this person has the power to manifest what they want. They can be a master. But right now, there's two obstacles, which are the old view of the honeymoon and the wedding. I mean, maybe your dream is to have $100,000 this, that you want to be married at a destination wedding and you want a honeymoon in some exotic place. And if you can't have that, it doesn't count. I know that's like way out there, but I'm sensing that. And that's the battle, because I think even inside of your own self that you don't really want that. There's a part of you, it's like a tug of war. A part of you wants you to loosen up on what you used to want, move forward into something new, free yourself from your own past illusions, and be open to what comes next. Okay, so with that, thank you so much. You guys have been fantastic tonight. I love doing these readings, this style. This is the first try. I'll definitely be back. This was tons of fun. And so watch, I'm going to be spontaneous. You never know when I'm going to show up, but I might actually schedule it like a grown-up eventually. So go forth and prosper. Thank you for spending your time with me, and know that this girl loves you. Yes, she does. Bye.